So hey, what's up guys, it's me Ayush Banerjee back on R&D Tech, and today in this video I am going to review the 10RE smartphone and share my unbiased opinions for whether you should buy this device or just skip it. So without wasting further much ado, let's get this video going. Well, before actually beginning with the video, I would like to tell you guys that this is not a clickbait. It is true though I could buy this device at just $1,000. It's because I got a pretty amazing deal through Cashify. What actually I did was I sold off my old Samsung Galaxy J7 to Cashify, and against which I could get a pretty amazing deal of 5,000 rupees. And I redeemed those 5,000 rupees against the 10RE smartphone. So well, starting off with the box contents, we do not get a bunch of things, but all the usual stuffs needed to get the device up and running. So we get the wall adapter, a trustworthy micro USB cable, no USB-C type though, a very basic quick start guide which is appreciable to keep the paperwork minimal, and the SIM ejector tool. Moving on to the physical overview, we get to see the 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display in 16:9 aspect ratio, so no full vision display coming onto this segment. We get a 5-megapixel front camera with a single LED flash flanked either side of the decently sized earpiece, with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the 2.5D curved glass. Over at the top, we see 3.5mm audio jack. On the left hand side, we get two slots. One slot takes in two SIMs and the other slot takes in a microSD card up to 128 gigs, which is pretty appreciable in the ages of hybrid SIM slots. Over at the right, we get to see the power button, the volume rockers. Down below, we get the primary microphone hole, the micro USB port for data syncing and charging, and the speaker grill, which is decently loud. Flipping the device over to the back, we'll see the secondary noise cancellation microphone up top, a 13-megapixel rear-facing primary camera sensor, and a single tone LED flash here as well, followed by a fingerprint scanner. Down below, you can also spot the 10R branding on the total polycarbonate plastic body. Powering this device from under the hood is the Qualcomm's Snapdragon 430 chipset, as that of the Redmi 4 and Moto E4 lineup. The specific variant sports 2 and 16GB storage combination compared to the 3 and 32GB storage, which is also available. You also have a 4000 mAh beefy battery to power up this device. Well, that was a lot of hardware. So moving on to the software front, the device runs on Android version 7.1.2 out of the box, which is pretty amazing to see with the budget segment, with a stock build of Android and couple of Amazon's exclusive apps preloaded. So a little bit of bloatware there. So as soon as I was up and ready to use the device, I had already received a firmware update, which was pretty good to see. Now talking about the day-to-day performance of this device, with normal app switching and casual tasks, there were a couple of frame drops, couple of hiccups in that front. Rest, you should know buying this device means that you're not going to perform some heavy tasks or play heavy games, since for that you would definitely have to push your budget up to buy the 3GB RAM variant, as 2GB RAM is just not satisfactory enough to support your usage. I would share my experience here that while I was streaming music on Savan and simultaneously trying to use Snapchat, the phone was hanging a lot, and the RAM management was so poor that the phone did hang so many times that I had to reboot the device to get it functioning again. So the RAM management is something that the company has to work on to get its device fighting in the market to its counterparts. Moving over to the camera, the UI is pretty simple with some handy toggles up front. You don't get a dedicated Pro mode though, but under the settings option you have static settings for ISO, exposure and white balance. So those photography intensive users can make use of the ISO, exposure and white balance. But during my testing period, the cameras were average and not very good. The front camera is usable with decent lighting, and you also get a front firing flash to light up your selfies in darker environments, but due to the not so good sensor in the front camera, the flashlight even does not help during the dark environment selfies. So not a very good handy feature with the flash. The camera overall is definitely not the strong point for this device, as there is a noticeable shutter lag, plus you're also going to have some issues focusing, as it is not at all good. And then comes the worst part, the video mode. Yeah, you heard me right. Well, out of the box the device was able to record only 720p video, looking at which I was a bit shocked. But then with the update, it was bumped up to the resolution of full HD or 1080p, but there were hardly any difference between the quality of 720p and 1080p. And also when you start to record, God knows what happens to the device. Firstly, it starts to get a little bit warm, and then you see the video. It's laggy and there's hardly any audio and video sync. So you also gotta keep in mind the pricing of the device. The variant that I bought was 5,999 and the upgraded 3GB RAM variant costs $1,000 more, coming at 6,999. So if we talk about the price to performance ratio, the devices are priced pretty aggressive. But if you plan to get this device, then surely go for the 3GB RAM variant, as that would perform much better and would not have the app switching issue. Probably. And even Amazon is pitching it as the Amazon basic device, hence comparing it to other devices would not be fair enough. Can this be the Redmi killer? Well, not for now. But seriously, these 10 odd devices have the potential and they can be a tough competition to the Redmi devices which are already popular in the masses. And also given the fact that I could have the device at a very low and attractive price of just 1000 INR was pretty dope. Well, that's all for the review of the 10RE mobile phone. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If not, feel free to do otherwise. Do leave your constructive criticism down below in the comments section. And finally, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, then hit that red subscribe button and enable the notification option to get notified each time a new video goes live on R&D Tech. So until we meet next time, this is your host Ayush Banerjee signing off. Bye bye now.